Welcome to a new episode of Hallmark Heartbeats, a podcast all about Hallmark movies. I am your host, Camille. Today I get the chance to interview a very talented actress, Rhiannon Fish, who co-starred in the newest Hallmark movie, The 27-Hour Day, with Autumn Reeser and Andrew Walker. We talk about her past work as a child actress, being vegan, some deleted scenes in the movie, working with Andrew and Autumn, and so much more. Here's the interview. So, for our listeners, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, I'm Rhiannon Fish, and I believe we are talking about 27-Hour Day.
Yes, we are. But
Good.
I do want to talk about your previous works because,
Sure.
One of my friends is a Neighbors fan.
Oh, cute. Where does your friend live? Surely not here.
Actually in Australia.
There you go. That makes sense.
She lives in Queensland.
Oh, lovely. You have to go and visit her.
I know,
well,
right?
If you're not, but it's, like we said, the animals, maybe not, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, here in Hawaii, we don't have snakes. We don't have poisonous spiders.
No, you got nothing.
We're safe.
Yeah.
We're the opposite of Australia here.
Yeah, stay there. Yeah.
But I told her, I was like, if you have a question,
cute,
you would want me to ask Rihanna. Am I saying your name right, Rihanna?
It's a hard name. It's pronounced Rhiannon, but truly every day somebody calls me something different. So I've just learned to kind of roll with it.
I was wondering if I was thinking to myself, is it Rihanna, sort of like Rihanna with an N? Or is it
I know.
Ryan?
That's so fair. When she when she popped off, Rihanna, it really, that's what everyone calls me now. But it's Rhiannon, which is after a Fleetwood Mac song by Stevie Nicks. But Rihanna really, she took over. And fair enough. God love her.
Yeah. That's why I keep calling you as Rihanna. But
so fair.
It's Rhiannon. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the questions that she wanted me to ask you was, you started on Neighbors as a child actress. How did you stay away from the child actor curse? From going drugs, mental hospital, that kind of thing.
Totally. I think that I was very lucky to grow up in Australia, especially in the Australian film and television industry. It's a much smaller pond. So you're not having to navigate this global level of fame or stardom. It's just when you're on Neighbors, people recognize you here and there, same as Home and Away, but it's not this overwhelming amount of pressure that I imagine stars in, or as we know, stars in the States sort of face. It was just, it really was not a big deal whatsoever. Everything was still very, very normal. And that is one of the beautiful things about the industry in Australia. It's just much smaller. A lot less eyes on you, so to speak.
Do you wish you could have stayed in Australia and do more stuff there?
I do, actually. Well, yes and no. Australia feels like home in my heart. That's of course where my family is. And now with the pandemic, as so many people, I haven't seen my family for, I guess we're coming up on 2.5, nearly 3 years, which at some point is soul crushing every day. But they're shooting a lot of things in Australia. It'll all happen the way it's supposed to, but I'm close to booking a job that's shooting in Sydney. So that would be the dream, to go over and be able to see my family, spend Christmas with them, and also work at the same time. So fingers crossed, you're right.
Yeah, all if the world's aligned, that will all
exactly. It all works out the way it's supposed to, and if it's not meant to be, it won't.
I can't even imagine being separated from my family for that long. And in a way that you can't control, because you can't really control this pandemic.
No, of course, it's completely out of our hands. And it's really, really difficult. I have some degree of envy, it's just little, but I feel jealous of the people that can just sort of, get in the car and even drive a couple hours just to see their mom and dad. I would kill for that. But again, I'm just very grateful. Everybody is happy and healthy. So that's all that matters. And once this pandemic's over, we can all reunite.
They're safe.
Exactly. Yes.
That's good. Yeah. And thank God for technology, because now
thank God. totally.
Which leads to this whole movie, okay?
Yeah, right. A good segue. Nice.
The whole premise of the retreat, which I did a podcast reviewing it, is like you are unplugging from everything. Like you are turning away your cell phones, you're turning your laptops off. You're like, no clocks, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Yes. I wanted to answer that impulsively. I think if I think about it too much, I'd be like, oh my gosh, no. But I think it would be really lovely. That's one of the reasons why I think that film resonates with people, or I certainly hope it does, is that we all know that we are at every waking moment seemingly ruled by technology, and even time controls us all the time. That's maybe more of a deep conversation.
Oh my God, that scene where you talked about the internal clocks and how like we need to connect to our internal clocks, and like it's a small scene. It's a small scene, but like you're listening to your body, and like you sleep when you want to sleep, eat when you want to eat, that kind of thing. I was like, oh, I never even thought about that. But yes, it's like connecting with your body.
Totally. And we just don't. Like, I mean, the alarm goes off and we wake up, and then every step along the way, we are controlled by time. And we don't listen to ourselves anymore. And we're told essentially, which again is even deeper conversations, we're told when to eat too, even as grown-ups. Like, you know, it's lunchtime.
Lunch hour.
For a lot of people.
Lunch break.
Lunch breaks, exactly. 9 to 5 jobs. Who knows if people are even asking themselves, that's about like intuitive eating and stuff, which essentially we're all supposed to be doing, is allowing ourselves to listen to our body. We just don't anymore because we're ruled by the premise of time.
When I saw that scene, I was like, oh, that felt powerful. Because we don't even think about it that deeply.
No, you know? We don't think at all. We just almost on some level like switch off that connection with our body and just follow what we're told to do. It's wild.
I know. I wish that that's why I love this movie.
Oh, bless you. Yeah.
So I love the movie. I said, like, after the first time I watched it, I didn't like it. Mostly because I watched it again, but I watched it the first time with the romantic lens, like looking at it as a romance story.
Which is like the primary lens of Hallmark. That's how we see a story. So,
I didn't like it with the romantic lens, but when I looked at it more through self-help and self-care and being better as yourself, I was like, no, the message of this movie and the nuances in the movie is just like so wonderful.
I agree. I've seen a lot of these scripts. I've worked a fair bit with Hallmark since I moved here, and I'm so grateful. And this script in particular really stood out to me because of that message. It wasn't just about two characters falling in love and somebody's baking, and you know how Hallmark goes. We love Hallmark, but she has a method that she runs.
She has a formula. We call it a formula.
Exactly. This one was a little different, and I think it's interesting too, the timing of it being like, within this pandemic still, is that this was a time in the world where we all did stop and being like, okay, what did you do with that time? How did you care for yourself and love yourself? What do you do when there's nowhere to be and you don't have to, I think it was a cool little story.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it for that premise, but I was definitely afraid of the prospect of turning away my cell phones.
It's scary, right? It's so scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we said in the podcast that when she said in her first recording, I am scared. I was like, yeah I thought that.
I feel that 100%. Absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, what are we going to miss if it's just for a period of time?
7 days.
I mean, there are people that go completely off grid, and good for them. I completely respect and understand that. But what's the big deal? What's going to happen on our phone that is so important?
True.
True.
Very true.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just use your phone for emergencies. Like, we have
exactly. That's what I mean. Like, if I were to ever have kids, like, that's what I would want them to have a cell phone for. I'm sure they don't follow that, but to just for emergency purposes. Otherwise, you don't need it.
You're too young to
Don't need it. You certainly don't need social media.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that has its place in the world and I'm grateful for it, but those apps are all deleted from my phone at all times. I've been talking to a few people about this recently because I find it does more damage than it does good, you know? And we're just programmed to be like, this is what we do. I scroll Instagram now. No, get off it.
My therapist, actually, I getting personal here, but
Oh, no,
I go to therapy like
so do I.
every other 2 weeks.
Good for
every other
you.
week. And like my therapist, has challenged me in the past to just delete this Facebook app.
Yep.
It's like,
that's why I did it. It was my therapist was like, Rhiannon, do you realize that you're coming in here and you're talking about things that are it's social media that's causing you very real anxiety? And she was like, get rid of it. And so it was scary at first. And I had to set like I put like locks on it so I could only go on certain periods of time. But then over time, I realized just delete it altogether. If you need to be on there to post something or check in with somebody's birthday, put it back on, then get rid of it. I hate it.
It was scary at first.
Totally.
But it was actually really good because it was like, this is around the election time. So I was like, thank God.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. It's just other people's opinions. We are just like drowning in all the time. And it either makes you fired up, like, oh, I need to respond. Or you just feel like just completely overwhelmed by everybody else's thoughts all the time. You forget where I
just started blocking people.
Good. That's all. If I had $1 for everybody that I have muted, I mean, I would be a wealthy lady.
Yeah. Sometimes some people just negatively affect you.
Yeah. We don't have time
to be back. It's best to just like move on forward.
Girl. Amen.
Actually, I know we're rewinding, but you talked about your previous Hallmark works, and I just watched Your Bacon Me Crazy.
Oh,
which is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, that's so nice.
Hilarious. I love Michael Rainey.
He's just a dreamboat, isn't he? And he's such a lovely man too. Like he is. I don't know if I feel fine to say this, but like the women on set, like in the hair, makeup, we were talking about him behind his back. Like he is the who you dream to be. Like, this is my man. He
is so nice.
He's nice. And he's just like a really hardworking, honest, kind family man, like loves his wife, loves his kids, works hard. He's like, that's a good man.
Well, how was it working with Michael and Natalie?
I didn't have that much with Michael because I guess he was on the like opposing like food truck.
Yeah.
But he was so kind to everybody he met. Myself included. Natalie was so sweet. I really, really liked her. We've talked back and forth a little bit since the movie, just on social media. But yeah, she's just a really lovely, kind girl. And the director, of course, is Alan Harmon, who is my boyfriend's dad.
Yeah.
And he was just a dream to work with. Really great director. Yeah, it was. I loved being a part of that movie. It was really fun.
I love like you have bacon fried rice, and I'm sitting there going, that sounds good.
Oh, girl, anything with bacon is bomb.
Oh yeah, it's bacon. That's the secret ingredient to anything tasting good is bacon.
Totally,
for sure. And I've never tried what is it? What's the sandwich that they tried? BLP with the parsnip and the tomato.
I forgot about that. I'm sure that's good too. I mean, I'm vegan, so on the day, everything that I had to eat was like some mock meat, which was nice, but I'm sure the real bacon version tasted a lot better.
Oh wow, you're vegan! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was that like all your life, or
no? Just the past I think I'm at almost 6 years now. But that doesn't mean that I don't smell the smell of bacon and go, oh yeah, that's what's up.
You mind me asking what made you become vegan?
Oh no, that's a very kind question. I loved meat my whole life. And then one day I sat down to watch a documentary just for the sake. I love documentaries. And it was, oh my gosh, which one was it? I can't even remember. And immediately it kind of put like a face behind what I had been eating. And I realized that I couldn't say that I love animals and continue to eat them. So it was like a very instant thing. I just went, nope, not doing this anymore. I became vegetarian. And then within the month, I was fully vegan. And I've really never looked back. I think this will be like a lifelong thing for me.
That's good. Yeah, I don't have that strength.
Oh no, that's so fair. Yeah, it's hard. It was definitely hard at first.
Yeah, I feel like it takes a lot of self-control to
self-control, and also, but it's like anything. If you have the love for, it's like you can do anything in the world if it's coming from like a place of love. And I love animals so much. It no longer feels like a sacrifice or that it's something that I'm doing that's hard for me. It's something that I just want to do, you know?
So sorry,
don't be sorry.
But how did you get the role of Ayla? And I'm sorry, but I was wondering if that role was meant to be bigger than it is in the movie. Because
it's so interesting you say that. Because I think okay. I've only watched like a bootleg version on YouTube. I haven't watched the movie yet. But I think they cut a bunch of my scenes, which happens. It's not the end of the world. We're grateful.
I'm gonna say that because there is a promo pic of you getting engaged.
Thank you. Yeah, they cut that from the movie, didn't they? That's so funny. Yeah.
I was like, so am I going crazy, or did I miss this whole scene, or did they not put it in there?
No, I thought I was going crazy too. As I was watching it on YouTube, I was like, wait, am I going? I swear I filmed some more scenes than this. It was, and I understand as a supporting role, you know, when you sign on to anything, even as the lead, still scenes get cut because they'll find things that need to be longer and, you know, running time. I get it. And it is mostly about the two lead characters and their love story. But one of the reasons why I loved this story so much is they gave the supporting characters a romantic storyline. And it was Ayla and Kyle. There were like 2 or 3 scenes where there was like a proposal fake out. It kept looking like he was going to propose and then he faked her out. And then finally at the very end, when she gets up to sing, that's when he proposes to her. And then of course, as an actor, like you're sitting there, I had to say to my boyfriend, I was like, maybe I have to remind myself it was nothing that I did. But of course, when your stuff gets cut, you're like, maybe it wasn't good. Maybe you didn't like it. But I'm assuming it's just because, I mean, I hope that it was just that wasn't the focal point of our story. But, you know, maybe I just did a bad job.
This is what I said on the podcast. I said, I feel that they put too many scenes about the pig. And they should have focused more on the humans. I was like,
I got lost.
I'm gonna piss off some pig fans and some fans about the little piggy, because there was a whole lot of people that loved the pig.
Yeah.
But I did not watch the movie to see a pig.
No, I get that. And maybe he took my place on the call sheet there. Maybe he was like number 3, and you know, all power to him. He was great, a beautiful little actor. But I think sometimes I hope that, who knows why. But yeah, they were really, really lovely scenes. And I loved working with Garrett, who played Kyle. He's a really sweet boy. Actually, the whole cast was really lovely. But I was a little sad to see those scenes go. But, you know, it happens. You know, I know people that have been cut out of entire movies. So as long as I still make it in there in some capacity, I'm happy.
Yeah. It was my other co-host, guest co-host of the week. We were saying that when Lauren went up to you and was asking you how long have you and Kyle been together, we were like, she was with somebody.
Oh, I know. And poor Garrett, God bless him, because it was like the most of his scenes were these gone. Like,
there was no way. Like, we didn't know up until that moment that
that's so fair.
Somebody.
Yep. Yeah, that's totally. Who's Kyle? Yeah, fair. Yeah, and he did such a lovely job. He's a great actor. But yeah, we're totally gone. I love that you picked that up. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, because it was just like I felt like, I know she must have bored that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call.
Like, they probably replaced her with the pig, and I would have been like, why are you?
That's fair.
And I also said the same with the other characters, with
Totally.
Lillian's character and
Yeah.
Karen and
Yeah.
and Roger. I was like, I wish that we had seen more of their journey as well.
I know, it's the kind of thing we were talking about when we were there, is that it would be a cool movie to do like a sequel to. And we get to explore. This one was, of course, primarily about the two leads coming together. And that was a beautiful story. I really loved that. But I would love to see a little bit more focus on, maybe in the sequel, who knows, about all those other different relationships, because they made them so interesting. It's such a lovely script that it made, for me, the audience, I was interested. I wanted to know more about these supporting roles.
The wedding planner was funny.
Oh, she's amazing. She's such a talented actress, and she's so funny, Lillian. We were very lucky to have her in that. I watched that and I'm like, I can't imagine anybody else playing this role and making it as funny. She's such a talented actress. So I love Jeff, who played, I can't remember his character name, Jeff and Karen, the couple. They were lovely. Roger was such a dream. Everybody was so interesting.
That voice.
Oh my gosh. We were literally, any reaction you see in that movie was so real. He just went for it on the day, and we were all like, oh my God, Roger.
So that was like ad-lib?
It was not scripted at all. No, it was supposed to be just all of us. And then he just took over and sang the second verse. And thank God he did, because his voice, I think he's done a lot of theater. He's just a very sweet, very talented man.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah, beautiful voice.
I've seen him in several Hallmark movies, but I was like, yeah, you need to sing more.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, they should have him singing in all of them moving forward.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we saw you like with the guitar and stuff. Do you play and sing?
No. And I'm telling you, so on the day when I auditioned for it, I sing a little bit, not like Roger, but enough to get me by. So I had to sing in my audition scene. And then I made it very clear. Like, I think even in my slate at the end, where I was like, hi, I'm Rhiannon Fish. I'm 5'4". I don't play the guitar. I have to make that very clear. I want you to know I don't play the guitar. And then when I booked the job, the first thing I did was send an email. I'm like, I can't play the guitar. So then, of course,
I had you acting like you could play the guitar.
Oh my God. So they were like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you can't play. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. So I then borrow my friend's guitar, and I'm trying to teach myself. I'm not good at music. And then on the day, I just, pretended and hoped that they would cut around it. Because I've never been somebody don't ever lie on a resume, because it's got me caught before. Tell people if you can't do something.
Yeah. I mean, don't expect Eric Clapton from you or anything.
No, don't expect anything. I didn't know how to hold it. It's hard. This is a skill. I don't have it.
Nobody at least taught you a few chords?
Well, I mean, I suppose I could. That was what I was gonna do, but it all moves so quickly that you're trying to learn dialogue as well. We were staying out in Harrison Hot Springs. I tried my best, but just nothing.
Yeah, that's good. So how was it working with Andrew and Autumn?
Yeah, they're lovely. Yeah. And they are such veterans of the industry, both of them. I mean, they show up, they know their dialogue, they're nice to everybody. And the leads really set a tone for how the set is going to be. It's the most important part, because they determine for all cast and all crew how it's going to be when we're there. And they just set such a wonderful example for all of us. Just really, really lovely people and great actors. It was just a privilege to work with them.
Was it your first time working with either of them?
Yes. But I mean, they do so many Hallmarks. I would hope to hopefully work with one of them again, or both of them. Hallmark's lucky to have those two. They're fantastic.
I love both of the actors.
Yeah.
Whatever their name pops up as a cast, that they're gonna be good. It's gonna be a good movie.
Absolutely. And the chemistry between the two of them, like they've known each other, I think probably through Hallmark. I'm not sure. That would be a question for them. But they've known each other for a very long time. But from what I understand, have never worked together. And this was something that they were looking forward to doing. Finally, the two of them getting to work together. And you can just tell the chemistry exists between the two of them. They have a real life friendship that I think you can really see on screen. It was just, I really learned from watching how those two interacted with each other. It was beautiful.
You said it, the leads take
Yeah.
you're now let's not cloud your lead. You had your lead this year too. I saw that a couple of months ago, and I wanted to rewatch it again just to refresh my memory. Which is kind of ironic since it's a movie about a guy who has lost his memory.
Yeah.
But anyway, that movie was on Up. My question to you is do you notice any difference working for the two different networks?
Oh, 1,000%. None of it, so the thing is, that is Real One Productions, which we do a lot of movies. I think I've done 2 for them now. I have another one that's about to come out called For the Love of Chocolate. Ooh. And then I have another one, but that's a different production company again. They are different. You just get less days. That's part of it. Hallmark gets some more days, which makes it a little bit easier. It just seems like that is the big difference. It's it goes so fast and it's really, really hard. While Hallmark is still difficult as well, there's a little bit more room to kind of relax and feel it out and take your time. But I enjoy the fast-paced nature of working with Real One. It means that you just really got to be on your stuff, and there's no time to mess up. And I kind of like that aspect of it.
Yeah, that movie. I'm so sorry that I didn't get a chance to rewatch it, but I remember laughing a lot when I first saw it. Because you play these like really cute, funny characters and stuff. But I know you also have your serious side with the 100. I never saw the episode, but the show. But a lot of my friends are fans, so they were like, "Oh,
yeah, it's a great show." Yeah, I prefer I kind of gravitate more towards that Hallmark style. I like it. It's fun. Nobody's dying. It's just really lighthearted, and I think it has an important place in the world. I think these movies just make people happy when things are. Yeah, and
it makes you think too.
Yeah, it really does.
That's why I like the 27-hour day, because it makes you just. When we were doing the review of the movie, it became more of an internalized discussion between ourselves of like, what would you do with 3 hours extra?
I know.
What would you do with the afternoon? That kind of thing.
I know. It's really sweet. Yeah. And it's important conversations to have. I think it makes you think about stuff that's important.
Yeah. But what kind of message would you like the viewers to take from 27-hour day?
I really think you've hit the nail on the head with that. It is about just ask yourself that question, even if that's all that you do and you maybe don't necessarily apply it, that's okay. But to just stop and ask yourself, what would I do if I had more time? Because not to be dark, but at the end of the day, I wonder if that's what we end up thinking when it's all said and done. Like, what do we wish we did more of? And what do we wish we did less of? The reality is, if we had 3 more hours, we'd probably just work more. We'd be like, okay, let's do more work, or, stuff that doesn't matter. It's like when you are on your deathbed, what do you I would love to be able to sit back and go, I loved as much as I could. I did all the good stuff as much as I possibly could, because that's all that really matters once it's all said and done,
But what would you do with 3 hours extra in a day?
Well, Maybe sleep more. That's just an honest answer. I'm so tired.
That was my answer too. That was my answer too. I was like, I would catch up more sleep.
Yeah. Which then I guess isn't a bad thing. It makes you better. It makes me a better human. When I have slept, I take a nap every day like a baby. So if I could have more time to sleep, that would be great.
And then, if you had one free afternoon to do anything, no electronics, what would you do?
Oh, see my family. I mean, there's a magic wand that exists and could make that happen.
If there was a teleportation device,
just zap me over there, and then to just like they do in the movies, sit around a campfire and like just talk, like have some dinner together, cook. That's what I would love to do.
And self-care is something that we also do not do a lot of, especially as women. I don't know about you, but I said on the podcast, I was like, I feel like Lauren's character is the embodiment of the pressure we put on ourselves as women.
1000%.
To just be the best, to just give, especially in the business world, like Lauren was, where it's a male-dominated world. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be the best of the best, just to be looked at equally as the male counterpart.
1000%. Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes in that pursuit or whatever, we forget to prioritize our own needs and our own.
Absolutely. And I think I absolutely hear that from women. And I think there is this pressure on both men and women where it's maybe even more so men in some capacity, where it's hard to say like, I'm not okay. That's something that I've been learning very recently, just kind of coming out of the pandemic. We were talking about therapy, where we all just want to be okay all the time. And it's really scary to actually, and we're allowed to sometimes stop and say, women, hey, you know what? I'm not okay. Yeah.
I feel like that is one thing that as women, we are allowed to be more vocalized of our emotions, but as men, they're not. And I feel sympathetic for that.
So do I. Yeah. I mean, we are, and that's so silly. And I'm hoping that children are being raised more. That's what I kind of see, is that where there is no such thing anymore as like gender stereotypes, because they are just total bullshit. And everybody should be able to, it goes down to clothes and all that stuff, but it should also be emotional stuff too, where there is no little boy should ever be told be a man, and to be a man means to not show emotion. Like I would
don't be a whip by crying or whatever, or suck it up, that kind of thing.
No,
just show it's heartbreaking.
I know. I totally agree.
I think that I feel like for people to fight for gender equality, that has that conversation of allowing men to access their emotions and not
absolutely
torn down for it too.
Yeah,
something important too.
I agree.
But that's one thing I love about this movie, though, is that women empowerment that they have throughout. I mean, you got Lauren with her business doing centered around helping women.
Yeah.
The author that she talked about, why is her name blanking?
Barbara.
Yes, Barbara. Her book was also about women, and you and your mom too. And the movie was all about like running the retreat and stuff. But it's just it's great. That's why I feel like I wish that there was more of you, and there was more of the other supporting characters. Just because I feel like, in my opinion, the best Hallmark movies also highlight great supporting actors and supporting characters.
Totally. And they hired
the lead actors.
Totally. And that cast, we're all I'm taking myself out of that. When I look at the rest of them, like just stellar actors, every single one of them. So yeah, maybe we'll do that in the sequel. You never know. If enough people watch this one, and we had such a blast filming it as a group of people, as friends, that I think that would be something really cool to explore down the line.
Was it Autumn's first EP?
What is EP? Sorry.
Executive producer.
Oh, she was executive producer. Love that. That's dope. I don't know. I didn't even know she was executive producer. Good for her. That's it, girl.
She said as she was listed as a producer.
That's so awesome. Good for her. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
But yeah, well, you said that you have a couple of new movies coming out soon. What is it again?
There's For the Love of Chocolate. That was a Reel One production, so I'm hoping that'll maybe go to Hallmark. We'll see. Then I did Love on the Wings of Eagles, which was another one we're hoping to pitch to Hallmark or maybe Netflix, fingers crossed. And then I'm right now I'm working on Signed, Sealed, Delivered. They're doing another one of those.
Oh yeah,
and so I'm working with the Plustables. So I'm working with Jeff again, which is really fun. It's a great character. I'm just really, really grateful to be in Vancouver, where I have been so fortunate to be welcomed into this Hallmark world, because I mean, it's the most I've ever worked, and I feel so, so lucky. I'm very, very grateful for the Hallmark channel.
You let me know when your other stuff comes out.
I will. I'll message you.
I'm a chocolate fan, so I love chocolate.
Oh, well, you have to watch this. It's like chocolate porn.
Hallmark does good movies with chocolate.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And they always have these montages of all the dripping.
Yes, that's what this movie is. You'll love it then.
Stuff, and I'm like, you just make me hungry.
Stop it. I know. You have to have a snack and eat it. But I'm telling you, while we were shooting that, like, we lost time doing our scenes because they were so focused on the chocolate scenes. Like, it's gonna look magical. Maybe after it comes out, we can have another chat. We can talk about
yes, definitely. Let's do that. Are you going to be a lead in that one, or are you going to work with?
Yeah, I'm the lead. And
who's your co-star?
Jesse Hutch is the lead male. He's the best.
Oh my God, he's the nicest person.
Oh my gosh,
in the world.
I couldn't agree with you more. I love Jesse. He's wonderful.
And he's so funny too.
He's so funny. I had the best time shooting with him. Really, I've done a few of these now, and while everyone is awesome, Jesse was like top tier. Like, I had a blast with Jesse.
He's so like down to earth.
Yeah,
I've exchanged messages with him on Instagram a couple of times, and I just have like no uppity attitude coming from him or anything.
Zero. Like that. He's like the real deal. And again, another just like really good, kind family man, loves his kids and his wife, and he just shows up to work and he works hard. And he's so funny. There were scenes where we had to go again because he was saying things in between takes and tears were streaming down my face because I just think he's so funny. It's hilarious.
You were lucky. Good. Well, you've worked with some of the good guys.
Don't I know it? Because we know every day I'm grateful. I'm like that, because it's not always like that. And so when you get the privilege to work with men like these men I've worked with and women, I'm so, so, so grateful.
Well, thank you for letting me talk to you. And
thank you for talking to me. It was a privilege.
Wait to see your other works, and like totally when it comes out, I will totally watch it, especially with Jesse. I love Jesse.
Oh yeah, see, I'm glad. That's the good selling point. I'm glad I hit you with it's got Jesse in it. Now you're like sold. Yeah.
No, I mean you're a selling point, but I mean like Jesse's like awesome.
I'm kidding.
No, he's a good guy. You know how like you just I know when you cheer for somebody, you want.
I know. Yeah, we'll just talk about him the whole time next time, just from start to finish. Just talk about how great Jesse Hutch is. I'm down.
I'm sure that would take a whole hour of a podcast.
Truly, yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for letting me.
You're so sweet. Thank you so much.